What's going on, guys? My name's Logan with West Desert Wheeler. Today we've got the scale truck back out and I've got some differences on it compared to the first video I posted. Also, I've already been through Proline by the Fire, which I originally shot this video and I hadn't gone there yet, and I wanted to put it in the car show while I was there, or the Concours, whatever you want to call it. And now I don't care as much if I scratch it or put it on its side. So let's go have some fun. Let's push the limits a little bit more. I've driven this truck a lot off camera and it's surprisingly capable. Today I want to try and show that off a little bit. All right, and here is the RC tribute to the Instagram Full Size. You can find him on there. Badass old Scottsdale Chevy that he's got. You know what, I don't think his is the Scottsdale. His is the other model. I forget exactly what it is. But some changes we've seen here. I've put on the scale hubs for the front here that look like locking hubs. Those are from Locked Up RC. And then in the rear, this looks like the end cap for an axle shaft, like the bolts that actually hold the axle shaft to the axle itself. And yeah, we got those different wheel nuts on there, and these are the actual wheel nuts. So I have little adapters for a tool. So this is how I tighten my wheels on. They make caps that cover lock nuts on there, but these are the actual lock nut. And then also from our boys over at Twisted Fab, I can't remember the exact name, I will put it up on screen here. He had a buddy whip up a set of sliders for me, and these things are metal and they bolt into the bottom side of the slider here. So we just have a couple screws securing these to the hard plastic sliders from Vanquish. And so these things are super beefy, they're metal. I painted them with Steel It, and I've already got some scratches in them naturally. So we're gonna have some fun with that. What else did we do? We put a Reefs IS300 in here, but it looks like it's the winch from RC 4-wheel drive, except for it's from Reefs, so it's actually strong and fast and good. So we got a Reefs IS300 sitting up here in the nose of the VS4-10. And I actually just had a bit of a freak out because my radio link here, I have two different models selected, but it doesn't bind to individual receivers. It just saves the settings for a truck. So if you turn this on and it's the wrong truck setup, you have different controls for the truck. And essentially my winch was trying to pull itself in 100% into the fair lead here. And so I had to hurry and quick and turn it back off, which fortunately I did put my power button under the hood right here, so I can very quickly turn that back off if I need to. And it helps with being able to keep a battery in it for a day if I want to turn the truck off, let it sit for 30 minutes, and then go back out and drive it again. Let's get this thing on the rocks and start driving. All right, guys, so let's recover here what this truck is. It is a Vanquish VS4-10 chassis, and then it's got a Twisted Fab Co leaf spring conversion kit, and it is their long leaf kit. So it's a little bit longer wheelbase for this RC 4-wheel drive Chevy Scottsdale body that I've got. This one has been painted by my friend Cam over at Desert RC. How you mount the body to your Vanquish VS4-10 is through Shrink RC body mounts. They're a 3D printed adapter that goes from the Vanquish plastic slider main body of it, and then it adapts it out to the different bolt patterns for the Chevy, for the hard bodies. And Shrink RC has a ton of options for different hard bodies, different chassis. Definitely check out Shrink RC if you're interested in building a scale truck that also performs good. You can get hard bodies mounted up on just about anything. He even has improved versions for RC 4-wheel drive themselves. So Shrink RC does a great job there. Jesse's very knowledgeable and has a ton of really cool builds himself. So it's always good to talk with Jesse over at Shrink. And then on this guy, let's see, what other details are there? We've got Leaf Merchant leaf spring mounts on here. Getting hung up pretty bad. I'm not even close to the line that I want to be on. That's all right, we'll just let it hunt around and work for it. So leaf spring perches for my Vanquish H10 axles that are under this are from Leaf Merchant. They're a 3D printed metal design, and Twisted Fab Co works with Leaf to come up with the correct spacing for the leaf springs and everything. Yeah, getting her stood up a little vertical. Okay, if I would just pick a good line here, it would actually drive up this. So let's get this figured out. Trial H10 knuckles in the front. Reefs 1100 brass servo on the axle in the front as well. See, I told you if I picked the right line, it would work. On the rear bumper, which is from RC 4-wheel drive, it's a CC hand product. We just put those Locked Up RC metal shackles on there as well. So little scale details from Locked Up RC make it look really good. It's a cool company to scroll through. They sell affordable scale hardware for wheels, like my Spec RC 1.9 comp cuts that we're looking at here. The wheels, the ring hardware is from Locked Up RC as well. The hub hardware is from Vanquish. So the last time we had this truck out, I kept talking about how it was 10 pounds. Well, adding the sliders to it pushes this thing up to 11, along with the metal bumpers from CC Hand too. So this thing is quite a pig, and she might be doing a front flip here in a second. I sure hope not, although it's looking like it will. The scale accessory in the bed is a little pallet. Ooh, whoops. Let's fix our hood here. Just from a dollar store, little pallet picked up at the dollar store. My son has a few of them that he likes to play with, so I snagged one. Hopefully he doesn't get too mad at me when he finds out. For headlights and marker lights in the front, they're just RC 4-wheel drive's kit. They were like 20 bucks. They slapped in there pretty easy. I could not get the tail lights to fit in the back of this thing with the way it's set up. I don't know how RC 4-wheel drive gets a light back there. If I'm being completely honest, it's pretty crazy. So just so you know, if you're working on one of these, it's super tight fitment back there between the bedside and where the tail light housing goes. And then the screws are a pain in the ass. I really don't recommend installing brake lights on this. Working our way up our ledge. Yeah, this truck on these pit bowls works really good. What's awesome though is like this thing is big and tall and it's heavy, but it still crawls pretty good. I mean, obviously you have to crawl accordingly, and really I just like to try and creep along and not get the weight transfer to shift or snap too hard. But most of the time it can do cool stuff like that and make its way through, no problem. Another fun part of this truck is like this line right here is not something I would really even take a second look at with any of my RC crawlers that are more performance and competition minded. But just driving some cool ledges like this that just look realistic, it makes it fun. And just watching this truck work is really what it's about. I'm a big fan of watching this thing drive. Now, I've heard people talk about the availability issues from Twisted Fab Co, but from my understanding, man, he's just a lone dude in his garage making these parts, which is super awesome. I'm the same way with my cut and shut tires, so yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep up with demand, but he's got a really good product. His whole kit is metal, so nothing here is gonna break or give up on you, and I've seen the videos of how he treats his setups, and he thrashes on them, so he definitely built a product you can stand behind, and I definitely would strongly recommend a Twisted Fab kit if you're in the market for a leaf spring kit. Obviously, it might be a little tricky to get a hold of. You just got to be ready to pull the trigger when they're available. Oh, look, a giant dog. There's Sydney, for anybody who doesn't know. She likes to come out rock crawling with me. All right, we're gonna try this whole line here. I have no idea if we're gonna make it out the top part, but we're gonna find out. So let's get her up that. Not a problem. You can start to see the lights poking through now that we're in the shade, like that corner marker light. They're just so dim and not bright. But the fact that it had all the exact lights I needed for 20 bucks and in a time crunch, it seemed like a decent deal. So there's actually a gap. We're going from a boulder to a rock formation. Ooh, she's pulling up it. That's pretty good. Like I said in the beginning, this thing can perform. I just wanted to try and show it off a little bit. Do we have the traction to get it up and out of there? Or are we gonna have to back up and bump it? Come on, she wants to pull it. Right rear's up on the ledge. Now we don't have any room to back up and bump it. Just hopping. Yeah, it's got a big ledge on that passenger side. Our bumper's getting us trapped. I can see the dust coming off of the tires every time it's hopping. Come on, truck. Get it up there. Yeah, there it is. Just had to commit. Nice. She pulled it off without a bump, too. I actually want to continue on the path that we were on, so I'm gonna come down here and drop back down this ledge. Seems like my truck is leaning a little bit, and Twisted Fab Co has mentioned on his Instagram before, you can hand shape these leaf springs. You can put a little more arch in them if you need to. Seems like our front driver is a little bit flattened out after some time. And so we may need to take that and just give her a little tweak, add a little extra arch to it. And we cut out the fender wells just to give us just enough tire clearance. These are 4.75s, so pretty much the biggest 1.9s. Well, I shouldn't say the biggest, but these are the kind of the standard 1.9s that I like to run on my performance trucks. This thing was tall enough that, yeah, I thought they looked proportionate on here. While at Proline by the Fire, I cruised this thing around Scale City, which I showed off in my Proline by the Fire video. So if you haven't seen it, there is a little bit more footage of this truck in there. We also did a scale night run on the first or second night I was there. So got a little bit of wheeling time in. That is not necessarily part of the video, but she got out and she got used. She took a full rollover while I was there as well. Her first one. And it actually hasn't gone back to the roof since, so maybe we'll party hard enough in this video to put it back on the roof. Hopefully not, but it could happen. Now, as we're getting later here in the year, the sun position actually makes it harder for me to film and not catch shadows all the time. So as much as I want to try and avoid it, it's just kind of part of how it is. If I want the truck to be in the light, pretty much you can see my shadow. It's kind of annoying. Something I've had to figure out as I progress with my filming. Most of the time I'm not really going for the scale aspect, so I really don't care that much. But with a truck like this, I prefer to try not to. And then Sydney loves to run in front of the camera, so she kind of always is going to ruin the scale aspect, but that's all right. I'm happy to have her out here with me. Little throttle. The magnets on the hoods on these are not good, by the way. Here we go. Looks like the rain has washed this little path out a little bit. So a little more loose rock and dirt mixed in with some rock formations here. We'll see if she can claw her way through a couple steps. These inserts in this are from SL3D RC, and they are nothing special. They're the standard 1.9 inserts. They are a little bit, they compress a little too much in this truck, but they do work, so it's hard to like complain about them. Usually bushes bully my RCs around because they're so lightweight. This is the one truck I get to have revenge on the bushes because it's too heavy. It just bullies them. Okay, I need to get the rear moved around. This is a thin rock spine here where the truck kind of barely fits. Yeah, I remember driving this one in the dark with a couple friends. Yep, barely squeezed it through. Just got to keep the tires on the rocks and not the axle. Yeah, perfect. Wiggled our way through. Man, this thing looks so good, especially like in this low sun. This is the afternoon here. I love the background in here. Sydney's ruining my shot yet again. The way the thing just moves and articulates. What a cool rig. I just spotted a line. I'm hoping I will be able to squeeze through it. We're gonna have to put it on some different angles to get through here. So we'll see if we can get this big girl through this one. It's not quite as big of a ledge in the bottom as I thought it would be. We're trying not to take out our roof here, which it looks like we're about to. Yeah, I don't know how to maneuver this through here. No way, is it gonna fit? No, she's gonna rub, but now it's gonna start climbing a ledge, so now it's in trouble. Oh, about lost a mirror, whoops. Let's try going way off to the right, which is kind of my original plan through here. Dragging some metal bumper, you always love that sound. Yeah, let's see if we can get that front right to kind of hook it up top on this ledge. Then we're gonna transfer to the left side and get it balanced through the crack again. Yeah, it's working. Oh, get that left rear to climb. Come on. Roof is still just an inch from the rock. It wants to climb, but it wants to be, yeah. I was gonna say, I thought it wanted to be closer to the rock with the roof. Now we're just gonna squeeze through this little canyon. That was pretty sweet, I liked it. Yep, bring it up and across. Look how much this thing articulates. This is not a skateboard like most leaf spring rigs. This thing actually articulates and travels. However, it is pretty tall. So you are sacrificing performance as far as just center of gravity, but it's such a different rig. It's fun to be driving something that handles and drives so different than all my linked slammed rigs. Also, tarp in the bed by my buddy Crawley Bones on Instagram. Thank you very much, Lee. As far as I remember, Twisted Fab has a warranty on his leaf springs against breakage as well. So that's pretty cool. You can beat on these things. You don't have to worry about them breaking. Probably because they won't break, they will most likely bend, which you can bend back. But then if they do break, you know, he will get you helped out. He's going to take care of his customers, so that's awesome. I always appreciate businesses, especially small businesses, that still make sure they do that. Hell, usually it is the small businesses that do take care of their customers, and the big guys don't really give a shit. So here we go. Let's try a little throttle on this one. She's torque twisting, front left's in the air. We got a ledge to follow on that right rear. If she stays on top of the ledge and keeps working her way out, it might happen. Get it, truck, get it. That's a big girl to be climbing up a steep incline like that with no real hook up there. Again with a steep climb, this time with the ledge at the top. A little bit of wiggling and zigging zagging. There she is. All right, we got some ledges over here. I feel like I haven't beaten on it too hard in this video yet, and I just like finesse driving. So we need to find something that I can kind of hammer on where I don't really fear for the truck as much. Ooh, no way. Get up there. Damn, that was sick. That's a solid freaking climb there, guys. That was legit. This thing just motored over it too. This truck, and particularly this area, is just ledges. And like, it's not really something you go tear up V-notches in. The body's too big for that, but working its way through some ledges, just testing out traction on some inclines. So fun. Rop. It doesn't even care. So the compound on these tires is definitely similar to G8 compound, which is pretty firm in its feel. And I think that really works well with this combination. Yeah, here's when we're gonna have to throttle up. I don't think she's gonna wanna crawl. She can't quite reach. There's a ledge within reach. We just gotta get it up there. It won't take a whole lot. Nice. Had to keep driving while I was bumping it. Working its way through. Like I say, this whole area is just a lot of ledges and stuff. But with the backdrops and just the vibe of this area is awesome for scale trucks. And you got little windows and caves along the way. I hope you guys are enjoying the content with the scale truck. I actually have good news for people who enjoy the scale content, is I'm working on another hard body rig. It's another VS4-10, but this one is going to feature some more cage work, be a truggy, and something that I can beat on a little more like I would with my normal class 2s versus something like this truck where you guys can tell I'm not pushing this as hard and chasing V-notches and stuff like I do with my other trucks. And a big part of that is like, I just want to keep it nice. I enjoy the truck. And it's a different style of driving. Trying to take care of your rig. Not necessarily just chasing hard lines. Dang, that's so good. It should not pull ledges like that like it does. And it just walked it. This thing's impressive. So guys, I really want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you do enjoy it. Be sure to follow my Instagram at West Desert Wheeler. I post up random pictures. A lot of times I'll go crawling, not record a video, and I'll be sure to share those trips with my Instagram. So if you want to get more updates, you can find me at West Desert Wheeler. And you can even see the build on my stories highlights on my homepage. It's called Thunder Chicken. That's what this truck's name is because it started life as a Phoenix, and the old Pontiac Trans Ams have a Phoenix on their hood, and they got the nickname the Thunder Chicken. So also I just think it's funny. So it's a GM product. It counts. I don't know if Trans Am was affiliated with GM back in the 70s when they got their name for it, but regardless, I think it's got a funny nickname. And it's something to call it. This is gonna be hard to get the rears up. Dude, no way. It pulls stuff that it shouldn't. Well guys, you can find links to my friends who helped make this project possible down below. Thanks to Sky RC Hobby Shop as well. I didn't mention them in the video, but they support every one of my projects. This one's got a brushless motor that I picked up from Sky RC. So thanks very much, Cody. Thank you guys once again. We'll catch you in the next one. Keep the rubber side down.